everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tammy Bashore. I am a photographer, a writer, and an avid outdoorswoman, and I've got two German Shorthaired Pointers that I love to adventure with. So this right here is Bentley. He obviously wants to be on camera right now. I'm sure the other one will also make an appearance. But today I thought it'd be fun to talk about their personalities and temperament. GSPs I think are fairly unique, but maybe every breed owner says that. I don't really know. I've only ever owned German Shorthairs. So one thing about them is their personalities can definitely be genetic. It can also be something that they get through training, through socialization, or other dogs in general. But they are definitely very curious animals. They are playful, they're enthusiastic, they love to learn, they love to be trained, and they're overall just very much people pleasers. They want to please their owner and do good for their owners. German Shorthairs also have a sense of humor. If you've seen much of my Instagram, you definitely know that these two have personalities, and they are two very different personalities. My younger one definitely has a bigger sense of humor. His name is Berkeley. He loves to tease and just wreak havoc and cause problems. And I swear if he could laugh, he would. And he's quite a character. He keeps us laughing constantly. So if you haven't seen us over on Instagram, you'll have to go check us out because these two, they keep us laughing every single day. This breed, like I mentioned before, is very easy to train. They can be very bold, very boisterous, and they can also be very stubborn. The one that I have next to me here, Bentley, is definitely our most stubborn dog. He wants things on his terms, and he is going to do things when he wants to. You're not going to tell him what to do. If he wants to lay at that spot in that bed, he is not going to move no matter how much you try to move him. It's almost like he will push back on you. If he doesn't want to get back in the truck after the end of a hunt, he's not going to get back in the truck. He's going to sit on the ground, and you're going to have to lift him up to the tailgate because he's going to pretend he doesn't know how to jump up there anymore. So he definitely has a stubborn temperament, and does what he wants when he wants. Oh, buddy. They are definitely very enthusiastic about everything they do. When I let these two out to do something, or I want to do something with them, whether that's getting out some of their toys, taking them on an adventure. I don't want to kiss right now, okay? Taking them on an adventure. They are always excited and always ready to go. This one especially, come here, buddy, so they can see you. Why are you hiding off camera? Come here. This one for sure is up for any adventure and all adventures and never wants the adventures to stop. The other one is usually up for adventures, but he is a little bit lazy, and so eventually he'll just go lay down in the truck or next to the truck, and he's kind of over it. So they definitely have different personalities when it comes to their excitement or how long it might last. These dogs are definitely willing to approach or be approached. They're pretty good at approaching or being approached by people, taking pets from everyone. My dogs tend to be jumpers, so I usually am very careful around little kids. If little kids want to pet them, then I make sure I have a good hold on them so that they don't get excited and knock over those little kids. But they definitely are a great dog. If someone wants to approach them and pet them, I'm never afraid of that with these two, especially with their personality. However, one thing to note is a German Shorthair does not like to be alone. They are people dogs. They love their owners. They're not meant to be in kennels. They're not meant to be stuck outside. They're meant to be house dogs. And I know some people might disagree with me, and that's okay. But these dogs are meant to be with their owners. They love being with their owners. And so they are, when they're not hunting, which they are amazing hunting dogs, they are meant to be indoors with their family, with their owners. No kisses right now. You're very kissy right now. They're meant to be indoors. They're not meant to be outside. If I put them outside, this one right here will actually sit right by the door and sometimes jump at the door and want back in right away if I'm not out there with him. He wants to be with us at all times. The other one will oftentimes be outside for a while, but he'll eventually come to the door and want back in. They need constant human interaction. So whether that is just me petting them like this in the evenings when we're watching TV, or if it's taking them on adventures, teaching them things, letting them run free, being with us, going on trips with us, whatever it might be, they love human interaction. Being home alone can sometimes give them anxiety. Some dogs can get separation anxiety. I'm fairly certain that our younger one does. When we used to have to kennel them, and I think kennels are great, they are a great tool to use. Ours roam free in the house now, but they used to have to be kenneled. And when the younger one would be in a kennel, we'd get home and we would see there was tons of hair. He just dropped hair in his kennel like crazy. I mean, I could probably make a whole new dog out of the hair that was usually in there at the end of the day. And it just made me realize that he probably has a lot of separation anxiety. He does not want to be confined to there. He wants to know where we are. He doesn't like not knowing what's happening. But he definitely is one that sheds when he gets nervous, and probably has a little bit more separation anxiety than the older one. But you know, I think it's like siblings. The older one, Bentley here, he had, when did we get you? 2014. So he had 3.5 years where it was just him. So he was used to being home alone. Whereas Berkeley has always had Bentley, and they've always been together for him. So he doesn't know any different. So I feel like if I take Bentley on a walk, which I just had to cover his ears so he didn't hear that. If I take him and I don't take Berkeley, Berkeley gets really upset and he will whimper by the back door. Sometimes eventually he'll go and he'll sit down somewhere, but he does not like being left out or being left alone. One thing that I also really love about this breed is they love their family, but oftentimes they do pick favorites. And I found that really interesting when we started to look at their personalities a little bit more. Bentley definitely favors, gosh, you know, that's actually a little bit hard because it depends on the time of day too when they favor him. But he definitely favors our daughter. He sleeps with her at night. He tolerates anything and everything she does. She is constantly touching his ears, twirling them with her fingers. She's obsessed with that. And he will let her do whatever. And he sleeps in her bed every single night. So I would probably say that Bentley favors her, although he likes all of us. Sometimes I wonder if he likes me, but I'm fairly certain he likes our daughter the most. And then we've got Berkeley. Berkeley probably favors my husband the most. He sleeps next to him. He cradles him like a baby at night. But they are definitely buddies. And I would say that Berkeley really favors my husband, definitely. Again, it depends on activity. Depends on what we're doing. They're willing to go wherever someone is doing something fun. But I definitely think that they pick favorites and they tend to be a little bit more affectionate towards that one person. So the next question then is how do we know what our GSP's personality or temperament is going to be when we're picking them out? And that's actually really difficult. Obviously we can't know for sure, but there are some things that you can do to kind of figure it out. So when you are meeting with the puppies or the breeder and you're talking to them and trying to figure it out, it's really trying to figure out the temperament of the two parents. And I've read that a lot of it has to do with the mother. So really looking at the temperament of the female or the mom to the litter. And really seeing if she has kind of an even keel personality and temperament, then that's what your puppy is generally going to be. Now that's not obviously 100%. There is no 100%, but that's what I've kind of read is that a lot of it comes from the mother. Now the other thing that they said you can look at is when you're visiting the litter, which they always recommend. I never got to visit the litter of either one of these two, so I just kind of had to go off word, and if I'm being honest, I picked off of what they looked like, which is the worst thing to do, but I knew nothing when I was getting them. And so I picked off how cute they are, but I got lucky. But if you don't want to just get lucky or hope to get lucky, you can definitely go visit the litter. Now they say you don't want to pick the one that's beating up on their brothers and sisters, and you don't want to pick the one that's cowering in the corner. You want one that's kind of in the middle, that's playful, a little bit rambunctious, but also like lays down and goes to sleep. And that should give you a good idea of the temperament that they will be as they grow older. Now, obviously you can socialize them, you can train them, you can do things to them. We can ruin a dog's temperament and we can also make it better. And so I think that there's just to be cognizant that you are also a piece of that personality. What you do or don't do for them is also a huge part of who they are. We often joke here, when we got Bentley in 2014, my husband worked from home at the time, so we always say that Bentley was raised by him. And you can definitely see that in the personality, and that Bentley always has to be doing something, will relax, but it's usually very short-lived and must continue doing something. And my husband is the exact same way. My husband is always busy. He might lay down for a quick nap, but he's usually up right back again doing something else. He rarely wastes a minute of his day, and that's kind of how Bentley is. A little bit neurotic. Not that I'm calling my husband neurotic, but definitely has a go, go, go personality and wants to be doing all the things all the time. Whereas Berkeley, we got in 2017 and we got him in June. And I worked as a professor at that time, and so I was home for the summer. So I raised Berkeley, and Berkeley is very chill. You might even call him lazy. I don't call myself lazy, but I also do enjoy relaxing. I'm not terrible at it. He's up for adventures, but he also has a limit. He knows his limit, and he just stops and says no. And I'm also someone who's just like, meh, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And we move on. So we definitely joke that you can tell who raised which dog because their personalities match our personalities. And so I definitely think they take on your traits. If you are an aggressive person, your dog may be aggressive. Again, no 100%. So please don't take anything I say as a guarantee. These are just kind of ways that we gauge who they are, who they're going to be, and how that we can hopefully help them be the best dog that they can be. Finally laying down. I feel like this never happens. So a key that I also learned early on is to have early socialization for this breed. You want to get them around as many people of all ages, other breeds of dogs, lots of different sounds, activities. You don't want to keep them away from all of that. So if there's fireworks, take them out for the 4th of July with you. If you are going to target shoot, take them with you. Not that they have to be on the range, but you're in the camera. Not that they have to be on the range with you. A lot of times you can just keep them in the kennel and put them in the back of the truck so that they're just there hearing the gunshot sounds. And that way they kind of get used to that sound. But this one is a go, 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 never stop kind of dog. Oh, he just sat in my lap. He's a go, go, go kind of dog. And the other one knows his limits, like I said before. And sometimes if we're hunting in big groups, he will just go between our legs or my husband's legs. Whereas this one is doing his job and he loves his job. So they definitely have very different personalities in that way. Berkeley just tends to do better when it's just small groups or my husband and myself. Whereas Bentley, he's pretty open to doing it with whoever. He just wants to be out there, honestly. So hopefully this kind of helps you get an idea. They are so much fun. Now, if you've ever heard my story before, you got an itch, bud? If you've ever heard my story before, I never grew up with dogs. I did not have dogs until I had Bentley. Bentley was my first in 2014. So that would have been 9 years ago. I'm gonna age myself, but I was 32. So at that time, I had no idea what I was getting into. I thought dogs were like in the movies where they are lap dogs. They just sleep all the time. And my husband had promised me that puppies sleep. And I thought, okay, that's great. Puppies sleep. Bentley did not. So my first GSP was not a normal puppy. He kept telling me that it's not normal. It's not normal. Bentley never slept. He was always awake. He did not sleep like newborns. He was just constantly on the go, always doing things. We had a rough start. In fact, I almost got rid of him twice because I just didn't think I could handle his energy level. Like I mentioned before, I was a professor, so I had the summer off. And I really took that first summer. At that point, he would have been 7, 8 months old. I really took that summer to get to know him and figure out how we were going to live together, if we were going to make this work, because I just couldn't give him away. Obviously, we were his family, and I have some sort of feelings. I didn't want to just give him away. So I was determined to make it work. And so we spent a lot of time that summer. I'd take him to play, running down his energy, all that stuff that I've talked about in the past, but I really took the time to figure him out. When I got the second one, Berkeley, in 2017, so that'd be 3 years later, that was the definition of a puppy. He slept all the time. In fact, a lot of the times I wasn't even sure if he was awake, if he was alive. He was a really good sleeper, and he's still a really good sleeper. So I think like kids, they definitely have different personalities. They are so playful and so fun. I didn't know that dogs had personalities. I thought they were just dogs. They just laid there. They barked at things and they ate their food and they went on walks. And I thought that that's what you did. But I quickly realized that that is not true. These dogs are so much fun. They have us laughing. They have us pulling our hair out. They have us losing our mind. They have us smiling. They have us loving on them. All the feels. This breed, I highly recommend to people that understand them. And that's kind of why I created this channel, is to hopefully help other people have a little bit of a quicker learning curve than I did on what this breed entails and what it's going to require from you. So hopefully this helps you figure out how to find the right personality for your family, or to even just gauge a little bit what their personality might be when you're trying to pick that special puppy to bring home to your family. I would love to hear what the personality of your dog is like in the comments. Tag me in photos, videos on Instagram. I love to see your dogs having fun and just seeing what kind of personalities they have. I find GSPs so much fun and so interesting, and I don't think I'll ever own any other breed. So I'm gonna head out. These two are finally napping, so maybe I should talk for another 20 minutes. But the minute I stand up, I'm sure this one by my side will also stand up to figure out where I'm going, because he's a Velcro dog and he's gonna follow me everywhere. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. They are curious. They like to be the center of attention. A lot of them are people pleasers, but today I feel like they're wanting to do anything but please this people. So oh my gosh, you guys make this really difficult. I find them hilarious. God, I wish I could see you all. I can't see anything. So they definitely are pretty easy to train, but apparently not today. Hey, do you think maybe we could be done? Hey.